All right, let's go over the answers from the notes from last time on multiplying polynomials. So this first one was just multiplying a monomial by a polynomial. So monomial meaning it just has one term. Polynomial means it has one or more terms. So for this, what we're going to do is distribute. So distribute the monomial, meaning we're going to take this 6v and multiply it by 2v, and then 6v times 3. All right, so we have to multiply the coefficients here. So 6 times 2 is 12, and then multiply the variables. V times v is v squared, and then plus 6 times 3 is 18, and we just have one v there. So next one is the same kind of thing. We have another monomial. In this case, the monomial is just a constant, so this is just regular distribution. So we take 7, we multiply by negative 5v. I put it in parentheses because it's negative and I don't want it to look like subtraction. And then we have plus 7. 7 is positive, so we keep it positive, times negative 8. Again, I'm going to put that in parentheses because I don't want this to look like subtraction. So then we have 7 times negative 5, which is negative 35v. And then this is plus 7 times negative 8. So that's going to turn into a plus negative. So I'm going to make that subtraction. So minus 56. And that's it for that one. So the next one, we're multiplying two binomials, meaning they have two terms. So that means we're going to distribute using our favorite FOIL method. So FOIL meaning first, outer, inner, last. So we start with first, which is 2n times 6n, outer, which is 2n times 1, inner, which is 2 times 6n, and then last, which is 2 times 1. Okay, and then we just simplify. So 2n times 6n is 12n squared. 2n times 1 is just 2n. And then we have 2 times 6n, which is 12n. And then 2 times 1 is just 2. And then we need to combine like terms. So the only like terms we have here are these two middle terms because they both have n to the first power. So then we have 12n squared plus 2n plus 12n. It's 14n plus 2. All right, next one, it's the same kind of thing. So we're going to do FOIL again. So 4n times 2n is first, and then outer is 4n times 6, and then inner is 1 times 2n, and then last is 1 times 6. So then we have 4n times 2n, which is 8n squared. 4n times 6 is 24n. 1 times 2n is just 2n. 1 times 6 is just 6. And then we have to combine like terms again. And then if you look at this, you'll see the only like terms we have, again, are in the middle here because we have n to the first power. So then we have 8n squared plus 24 plus 2 is 26n plus 6. All right, and the last example we had was multiplying two polynomials together. So the way we'll do this is we'll take the 4 and distribute it to this whole set of parentheses, and then we'll take the 2 and also distribute it to the whole set of parentheses. So the way we'll start with this is 4a times this whole thing. Plus, so that's taking the 4 and distributing it to this whole thing. And now we'll take the 2 and distribute it to this whole thing. So plus 2 and distribute it to that whole thing. So now it's like we have two different problems where we have a monomial and we just have to distribute. So we do have to distribute again. So I'll take this 4a. Now I'm going to distribute it here like this. So we have 4a times 6a squared minus 4a times a plus 4a times 2. So that's just taking this 4a and distributing it to everything in here. And then for the second one, I'm going to take this 2 and distribute it to everything in here. So we have plus 2 times 6a squared minus 2 times a plus 2 times 2. And then we're just going to simplify a little bit. So we'll start with 4a times 6a squared. 4 times 6 is 24. A to the first times a to the second is a to the third. Minus 4a times a is a squared. Plus 4 times 2 is 8. We just have 1a. And then back to our green part over here. 2 times 6a squared is 12a squared. Minus 2a, can't simplify that. Plus 2 times 2 is 4. And then we need to combine like terms. So let's look at each of these. So first we have 24a cubed. I'm going to look and see if I have any other cubed parts. And I don't. So that's just going to stay the way it is. Let's go back to, let's do pink now. So 24a cubed. Now we have 4a squared. I'm going to put a square around this because it's square. So 4a squared. And then I have a 12a squared. Okay, so we have minus 4a squared plus 12a squared. So negative 4 plus 12 is plus 8a squared. Okay, so then let's look at our a's. So I have plus 8a minus 2a. So that's plus 6a. And then finally, we just have this plus 4. And none of those are like terms now. So that's all we have.